My name is Valerie Burton, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I currently teach digital media, and I want to talk to you today about missions, challenges, and choice boards. They're creative, engaging assessments that allow your kids to show you what they know. You can find these slides at either Miss B is online or bit.ly/ Miss B's challenges. Either one. Here's my contact information: email, telephone, Google Voice number, website. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I've been teaching for more than 25 years. I graduated from Loyola, and then I got my master's from UNO. In 2017, I was LaCue's Educator of the Year. I'm Ed Camp New Orleans organizer, mother of two, and I love badges. Like, I love competitions, contests. I love winning. And I think that's really one of the reasons why I use missions in my classroom a lot. So, what are choice boards, missions, challenges, menus? Basically, all they are a collection of activities that give your scholars the opportunity to complete multiple tasks that require them to demonstrate the skills they've learned in class. Here's one I did for my class, my Photoshop class. I told them that their team, so they're working in a group, your team's been hired to promote Photoshop, and that they would be competing for big prizes. So the first thing I wanted them to do is to form teams, have one member make a copy of the slides. So they're going to act like team leader to make sure all of the assignments are done. Okay, I don't mind bribing my kids. I don't. Um, this was one of the first times that I used Google Slides to do missions. I started off using documents. Then I used the Goose Chase app. And this time around, I decided to use Google Slides. I wanted to make sure that they got as much done. I gave them a lot of activities to do, and I wanted them to get as many of the activities completed as possible. And I knew that candy would be a good motivator for that. So basically, I wanted them to complete 8 things, and I wanted them to complete all 8 of these things. Okay, so this is a choice board. I'm sorry, I didn't give them a choice. Their choice comes from not in choosing the assignments, but choosing who's going to complete the assignments in the group. All right. So I told them the first thing they had to do was determine who's going to be responsible for which job. And some of the jobs are create a game, record a video, create a comic strip, label an image in Photoshop, complete the study guide. So they had to do a study guide in class. So this is at the end of the unit. All right, so there's a study guide. I want them all to work together, complete the study guide, and they're to take a picture and upload the pictures when they're done. They had to label some icons, um, check their study guide answers by playing a game, and they had to upload another photo to Photoshop and label the workspace. So I have basically 2 different versions of the same assignment because one class was ahead of the other class. So the first class had to complete the study guide, and this class had already completed it. They just had to check their answers and create a game. So I created an assignment for them to create 5 memes for a social media campaign that talks about the advantages of using Photoshop. So this slide right here is where I kept track of all of their work. So each link is going to be a link to that class's assignments, their completed slides. So I told them to, for this one, create a game, and they were to do it on classtools.net in their arcade. They were to create a game using the information from their study guide. All right. I told them to come up with 10 questions. And with Class Tools, what they do is they create a new game. They plug in their question, they plug in the answer, and basically, they can create from a couple of different kinds of games. Okay, so this group had to complete the study guide. All right, everybody was going to turn in their individual completed study guide. They were to work on it together and then take a picture of their completed study guide and turn it in. All right, for this one, they had to label the move and select tools. So type on the line, tell me the function, the name and function of each tool. For this mission, they had to create a message where they talked about the importance of some of the modules that we'd been studying in class, and they were to do it on Padlet. So this is a screenshot, and I try to give them screenshots so that they can see what the website looks like that they're going to be going to. And I often give them some like how-tos. Okay, so double click on the Padlet or click the plus sign, open a note, want to know, access the video booth. And then they record their video. All right, this is where they were to check the answers for their quiz. I created this game, and again, I did this on classtools.net. What happens is they had 30 questions. This is question number 20. They have to determine, looking at their study guide, was question number 20 A, B, C, or D? And they drop 20 into whichever the correct bin is. If it's right, they get the score. If not, it bounces back out. So this is just a fun way for them to check quiz answers. All right, they had to do a comic strip defining terms. And again, I give them a visual of the site. And then I try to make sure that I give them some directions. Use here the characters, personalize your background. Your comic strips can have X amount of panels. So I try to, make sure that they don't get confused about the assignment. And I also try to give them an example of, what the assignment looks like. All right. All right. So for this one, they had to upload it to Photoshop and label the different parts of the screen of the workspace. I gave them Word Bank. Okay. And for both of these, they had to upload them to Photoshop and label them. So the reason I like challenges and missions is because I guess I like to play games. I want the validation, as crazy as that sounds. I'm over 50 and I still like to win prizes. And my thing is, if I'm like that, then, and a lot of the kids are like that, then I have to try to make sure that I give them an opportunity to play a game and win a prize. All right, so some of the activities, and you've seen some of them that they did in that mission right there, but they can create videos about people, places, or things, comic strips about issues or terms. They create images that show movement or growth, or they can be interactive images. They can create websites to house their artifacts, or they can create websites about different subjects. The goal is to get as close to 100% engagement as possible. Okay, so why use choice boards? Um, I think it's important to use the choice boards menus and missions because they allow for choice and novelty. All right. I think it's important that we try to address their needs as far as interests and preferences. And I give them a lot of different activities to choose from. Um, I like for their artifacts to be something that they want to produce and not something that they just have to do. Yeah, in my last mission, they had to take a quiz. But just like they had to take a quiz, they also had an opportunity to create memes about a topic. When should you do the choice boards, menus, or missions? It's really up to you. Okay, you're the professional educator controlling the assignments. You can do it at the beginning if you want your kids to do some research to prep for an upcoming unit. You can do it in the middle to check for understanding. Give them a choice board and ask them to do tic-tac-toe. Only do three simple, things to check for understanding. Or you can do it at the end of a unit as a way to assess knowledge. Um, have them choose 4 or 5 things from a choice board. It's up to you when you actually choose to use it. All right, the where. Again, I talked about the fact that I've done choice boards and missions on Google Docs, Google Slides. I've had them create a Google site. I've had them upload things to Google Drive, submit things on Padlet. Goose Chase is an app I'm going to talk about towards the end. That's really cool too. Um, they take their iPads. I have them, scan things, go around the building, take pictures, create videos. It's a real fun app I like to use. All right, who can benefit from missions and challenges? Everyone, you and the kids. Okay, you benefit because it gives you an opportunity to come up with some activities that are real life based. And those real world examples, a lot of times, are the funnest assignments um, to look at when you go back to grading, where you've asked them to create a video that shows the relationships between a customer and a business owner in a conflict or something like that. Um, they can be catered to the learning needs of all of your students. So everybody really benefits, all right, from choice boards and missions and challenges. Accommodations are easy to make. If you have the rest of your students complete 5 missions or to do tic-tac-toe on a choice board, only tell your kids to create, to select 2, or it doesn't have to be tic-tac-toe. Or you can give them a different menu, mission sheet, or choice board where, the assignments are based on their readiness. All right. It's really up to you how you cater it to their needs. I really think it's two of the most important things, I think, when creating these assignments, to make sure that I touch upon different learning styles and preferences, and to make sure that I have an example of the finished product that I'm looking for. I kind of want to make sure that the kids know what it is I'm looking for so that they're not lost and struggling. Because a lot of times, some of them get it and then some of them don't. And it's horrible for a kid to spend 20 minutes making an artifact that's just totally not at all what you wanted. So I always try to make sure I have some sort of example. So the assignments can be verbal, logical, musical. Okay, it's really up to you whether you have them retell something in their own words and create a podcast, or to create a rap about the basic terms, or to collect elements in the environment that have certain characteristics, or make up a cooperative game or a jingle, or complete a jigsaw puzzle. It's really up to you, the variety of assignments that you give them. Um, my thing is, um, it's just essential that I like for them to look at this as like a treat, so if it's like a mission or challenge day, they're like, yeah, it's not the regular boring, 30 multiple choice questions and, 10 constructed response or whatever. And they really generally look forward to it. Sometimes I made the mistake of promising them a treat and not delivering, not because I intended to do that, but I forgot to stop at the store, whatever it is. They didn't ask me about it. They were just happy to play. And if they didn't finish all their missions the next day, they wanted to finish. So they get really into it as well. So one of the things we need to figure out is which works best: the menus, the choice boards, or the missions and the challenges. And here are just some basic differences between all of them. Missions and challenges can be set up a couple of different ways. You can require that they complete them all, okay, in a specified time, and grade them as far as completion goes, or you can tell them 90 minutes. Who our class periods are 90 minutes. So whoever gets the most done in 90 minutes, or the group with the most points, or you can set it up any number of those ways. They can be groups, it can be individuals. But again, you've got a list of activities and you decide your rubric. Do they have to complete some, or is it all? How are you going to grade it? Menus. Generally with menus, again, it's a select. They've got to choose from a list of activities. So the selection piece is there, but there is generally a main dish or an entree. that everyone has to do. Now, there can be a selection within that. Okay, so you might give them 2 or 3 main dishes or entrees to choose from, and then everything else is negotiable. They can do 2 of these, or 1 of these, or 1 of these. Okay, they can choose 2 appetizers, they can choose a side, they can choose a dessert. All right, it's up to you how you structure it for their grade. And I'm going to show you some more examples of these in a minute. Choice boards. All right, choice boards can be set up tic-tac-toe. You've got your 9 squares. They have to get 3 in a row. Tic-tac-toe. Choice boards can be set up where they have 12 different assignments and they have to choose 3. They may have a mandatory one, so they have to start here. Okay, whether it's the start point at the beginning or in the middle, or you can give them a choice. They can have one that they can choose from. Give them a bonus square. Let me know what it is you want to do. I okay it. You can do that. So with any of these, whether it's the missions, the menus, or the choice boards, okay, look at the activities that you want to assign and then kind of navigate as to which one is best for you. Choice boards are always the easiest, only because all you're doing is putting some activities down um, on a sheet, and they can choose any 3. All right, you can put a point value on the assignments or not. It's up to you. This is an example for math class. Center box, student choice. All right. So write directions for performing math computations. Solve 2 challenge problems. Create a math rap. Create 3-word problems. Define the units, vocabularies. Excuse me. Review the unit. Complete the review problems. Develop a game. Identify 4 ways concepts can be used in the real world. So this is an example of a math choice board. This is a menu. Okay. This is a journalism combo plate menu for a journalism class. First step, they're going to build their own meal and they're going to choose 1 main dish or entree. Then they're going to choose their sides. Then they're going to choose their appetizer or dessert. Appetizer or soup, and dessert is optional. So this is set up just like, all I did was design it just like a menu. Okay, so they have select 1 main dish from main dish 1 and 2. So to earn a C, they need 1 main dish and 1 side. Here are their sides. Okay, if they want a B, after they've done their main dish, they need 2 sides and an appetizer. If they want an A, they need the main dish, they need the 2 sides, they need 1 appetizer for a B, 2 for an A. Or they can do a dessert in place of an appetizer. Or they can do a dessert for extra credit. And, that means then that some of them may need credit somewhere. Okay. And they really may be okay with a B on this assignment, but I need for you to put a couple more points on that other assignment. And, we negotiate it. I don't have a problem negotiate anybody who's, trying to pull their grade up. So here are some of the assignments though. Okay. So you would just take a list of activities, and I don't think I've counted this before. So this is 15, 20. So they've got 22, 23 assignments on this sheet. Some of them are repeated. All right. But it's just a choice. You can do any of these things. You have a control over what your grade is going to be. All right. So this is a mission. This is a mission board, or mission slides rather, I gave to my class. So today you will need to solve riddles that help you locate your mission challenges. In your group, decide how you would divide the work. There's going to be a recorder, a researcher, a photographer. You will need to capture a group picture once you arrive at your mission site and upload it to the Padlet. The group that gets the most points, correct answers, is the winner of the challenge. So some of the missions they had to do, here's find a clue. So they had to solve a riddle, and the riddle is what spot? Where would you go if you wanted to get picked up early? So they had to visit the spot where you get picked up early. That's the main office for us. When they went to the office, right outside of the office, I had a QR code posted up and they scanned the QR code. It gave them a quiz. They took their quiz, went on and did the next mission. Used two memes to list the steps of starting a business. They had to do an elevator pitch in Flipgrid. They had to complete an ethics and responsibilities quiz. They had to solve a riddle, and this riddle basically was keeper of the records. Who is the keeper of the records? And I consider the counselor to be the keeper of the records. So they'd go up to the counseling department again, QR code, iPad scan, and then they'd run off to do the next mission. They had to complete a quiz about the 4 steps of effective writing, and they had to define the word entrepreneur in 20 words. So that's an example of missions. Okay, so we've had a quick look at missions, choice boards, and menus. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how you would create these things, and I'm going to give you some templates to use. So, choice boards. With any of these activities, one of the first things you need to do is decide what is it you consider to be the focus of the unit of study so that you know to gear your activities towards that. Whatever concept it is, you want them to demonstrate. Okay. Next thing you want to do is you want to create a table, and it can be a standard 9 square table with if you want them to get tic-tac-toe, or again, student choice in the middle, teacher's choice in the middle, teacher's choice at the beginning, directions in the middle, it's up to you how you design it. So it's just a matter of arranging the tasks and then playing with the choice board. Okay, you may move them around over and over again or change your assignments out. It's your choice, whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay, if you want them to do more than 3 tasks, all right, you're not going to go for the tic tac toe, because that's just like the 3 in a row. So you may have 16 squares on there, and they may only need to choose 4. All right, again, up to you how you design it. My thing is to make sure you have some interesting activities that they really want to kind of choose to do. Okay, so that whole fun aspect, I think, is really important to me, where the assignments are novel and different. So this is one I did, choose any 6 activities. We watched the movie 2081 after we read Harrison Bergeron. And this is like the end of unit assessment for them. So I have on here like 8, what is this, 4, 8, 12, 14. I have 14 activities for them to create. Submit a movie review. Here's a link for a Google Doc with a template. Write a series of diary entries as if you were a character. Create a 10-song playlist that refers to the who, what's, whens, where's, and how and whys of the movie. Okay, identify the 10 songs, the writers, and tell me why you chose these songs. So basically, I want them to defend their decision and post it to their blog. Create 10 memes related to the who, what, when, where, how, and why of the movie and the story. Well, the movie more so. Summarize the movie in 25 words and create 5 hashtags. Use Venn diagrams to compare you to one of the characters in the movie. Create a PowerPoint or Google slide presentation on a driving topic from the movie. Create an online poster using Google Draw where you talk about your knowledge of the themes, character interactions, and plot of the movie. Create social media posts, a conversation between 2 characters, 6 posts total. So 3 as character 1 and 3 responses as character 2. Post it to your blog. Create a Google Doc webpage about a driving topic or event from the movie. Compose a PSA about a topic. Use Google Slides or Google Draw to write and illustrate one of the favorite quotes. Use this, and there's a template here. Use a Google Draw template and complete a character map. and complete a Google slide presentation about the author of the movie. So again, their assignment was to select any 6. Some of them need to be posted to your blog, and some you need to put in your folder, your Google Drive folder. Here's another math choice board. If you click the link, it'll take you to the choice board, but I kind of blew up like the first column here. So decimals, they gave you different topics. Create educations video teaching how to do some things. Fractions, record yourself singing or rapping your version of a multiplication song. Go on your whiteboard and teach someone how to find LCM or GCF. There's an English choice board. Again, if you click the link, it'll take you to the choice board. I blew up. So record your favorite passages, write a brief summary of your assignment reading on this Padlet. Draw one of your favorite scenes. Use iMovie or Powtoon to create a book trailer. Create a scratch story that includes dialogue and a scene. Use this diagram template to compare you to a character. Sounds familiar? If you click this is a choice board template. So here are the 9 squares. They can start here, or you can have them start here, or it's up to you. And this is the basic squares you would use if it was tic-tac-toe. But again, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to just use 9 for tic-tac-toe. Okay, menus. Again, just like before, you have to identify the most important elements of the lesson or the unit. Okay, think about what you want that required assignment to be. What do you want? What couple of activities can you create that they would want to choose for their main dish or their entree? And then you're going to have a series of negotiables. That will be your sides and your appetizers and your dessert. Okay. Your dessert can really be an opportunity for enrichment where not everyone's going to do the dessert. All right, but those who do choose to do the dessert will have a wonderful enrichment activity to complete. So, appetizers, negotiables. Okay, you give them a list of assignments. The kids choose one. Main dish required. I like to give them, because that's the whole thing for me, this choice thing. So, I like to give them a couple of main dishes to choose from. Side dishes, negotiables. You give them a list. All right, they select 2, they select 1. It's up to you. Dessert, generally optional. Okay, and they should be high interesting and challenging. Okay, because again, I use my desserts sometimes just for extra credit. Okay, for those kids who may need it. So here's a human body combo plate. So design a brochure or a skeletal model. That is what they have to do. Okay, to discuss the parts of the human body and the skeleton. Their sides, again, choose 2 here, choose 1 here. Make Quizlet flashcards, write a story, make a comic strip, make a mobile, create a game, write about disease, interview someone, create a presentation. It's just a variety of, different assignments that you can include. I always make sure that I explain the steps, what it is I'm exactly looking for. So for the human body assignment, this would be an example of slides that are handouts that I would give the kids so that they would know when design a brochure. They're supposed to design a brochure about a skin disorder. Give me the causes of the disorder. Tell me the layers of skin affected. Tell me prevention methods. Tell me possible treatments. Flashcards. Okay. You should basically tell me this. You're talking about the system, the body, the human body system. You're going to give me its purpose, its parts, their individual jobs. You should have at least 20 cards to study. All right. If you're researching, all right, you're going to create an oral or visual presentation to persuade local restaurants to become smoke-free. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the results from your research, all right, and create an oral or visual. You can create a poem, song, or rap that explains the 5 main jobs of the skeletal system, make a model of the human skeletal system, create a game that reinforces understanding of the human body systems, interview someone from a medical field, make a comic strip that explains how plants transport food within themselves. And well, that should probably not. Well, oh yeah, plants as a way to compare plants to human body. See the similarities. All right, so that is an example of a menu. If you click this menu, all right, you'll get a copy of a template that can be used and changed. I tend to use slides now more. I started off using docs and I've used websites, but I think it's easier now for me to use slides because it's easy for them to copy and paste a lot of times evidence of their work, whether it's videos or pictures or whatever. Well, not copy and paste videos, but pictures and images. So here's a template. Let's see. That I talked about before. Oh, yeah, this is the one I used before. Here's a template for that. All right, so you can click here if you're interested in the template. Here is another mission slides I gave them. And again, each thing I'm going to explain to them. So click here for more information, and they get more information. And they're able to put their links or their images on this slide. So record a video, check the study guide. All right, so I'm doing some back to school missions. So, and basically all it is a series of assignments I need for them to do when we get back to school. And I think I'm probably going to change the virtual classroom thing. I've gotten absolutely crazy about. So I'll probably wind up changing this to an image of a room, a virtual room with computer screens with these different icons on them. But what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to take a survey. They're going to have to do some syllabus quizzes. I think I have this linked. So, yeah, they have, this is linked. So you'll be able to see the different slides. All right. So there's going to be information about homework, the class websites that they're supposed to go to. They're going to have to look around the syllabus. And when they click each of these different icons, it's going to take them to a different slide or website with material that they have to finish. All right, so I talked about Goose Chase before. So Goose Chase is an app. I use it with my iPads. And the kids have to form groups with the free account. So basically, I have my kids get in groups and they become teams, or they're a company. I give them the game code, and then I share with them the different missions. I always make sure that there's a paper copy of the missions because the missions are housed in the iPad, but I want to make sure that everybody in the group has some idea what it is, needs to be done. So they all have a individual paper copy, and team leader will have the iPad. So a lot of the assignments I have them do require them to create things on the computer, or they have to write things, or they have to do that. I like the video aspect of it where they have to act out something. So the limitations of the free account, you can only have a certain number of teams. So that means that after one class, I have to end the game and then start the game new with the next class and then end it and then start it new with the next class. And then at the end of the day, I have the opportunity to get all of my results. You can set it up so that it's live for, a certain number of days. You can set the start and end time. Here is what the missions look like in the dashboard. So I've got point values, and generally I try to make the videos um, worth more because the kids, they don't really want to do the videos that much. That's not true. They fight to do the videos, and then they take 35 minutes making a video. So I try to make sure that it's worth their effort. A lot of the assignments, like for instance, the videos, they do it and then they redo 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 it, trying to make sure it's great. So kind of keep an eye out if the kids are doing a video and you see this is like their 25th take. Let them know, that's it. You got to move on to other things. Remind them this is a race for the points and you're wasting, stuff like that. So here's what it is. Game info, you've got the missions. If I wanted to, I could pay more and have it branded. I have my participants, my start and stop. There's an activity feed, a leaderboard, and submissions. So at the end of the day, rather, I look at these submissions and I'm able to, I think I have submissions here. Yeah. I'm able to group them alphabetically or by teams. And I see the videos and the pictures and the text responses that they've given me. I can download it. I can show, because I like to show them their work. So that's Goose Chase. Here are two of the Goose Chases I've done. Write a performance note to an employee about an incident that happened. Create a video that demonstrates how a successful leader communicates with others. Create a video that describes your company culture. Create an effective leader web. This is a different Goose Chase. Do a client interview. You're meeting a client for the first time. So two of the team members have to write out a script and talk about what would that look like when a client was interviewing a customer for the first time. They're supposed to be talking about the importance of client relationships, complete a crossword puzzle. So if they're doing something like complete a crossword puzzle, they have to complete the puzzle, take a picture of it, and it gets uploaded to the Goose Chase app. A dance party. Here's a fun piece. Get at least 3 people in your group to celebrate life and dance in a public space. Match up. They had to take terms. I gave them an envelope with terms and definitions. They had to match them up and take a picture that when it was done. So like with the dance party, good example. Some kids will love to do that and they'll do it. I say 3, they'll have 5 of them. And not only are they just dancing, they've actually got music playing in the background. And then you've got some groups who are shyer. And there's one kid who might be game. And I'm not going to hold them against that. Because again, what am I saying? Celebrate life and dance in a public place. If I see that they're having a problem with that, I'll jump in the video. Okay, so it might be me and another kid. What happens is sometimes if I jump in there, one other kid will give them their 3. So even if it's just 2 kids, me and another kid in the video, I give them credit. I'm not going to punish them for being shy, for embarrassing themselves. I wanted it to be something fun. I didn't want, it to be something that was going to punish them. Again, I always make sure that they have a paper copy. So I give them a handout of the missions and the scores and everything so that they can have an idea about what assignments need to be done and they can help the team leader keep track of what's going on. It's important for me, I think, the novelty, the choice boards and the missions. I think they're always a win when I use them in the classroom. They strengthen learning, they improve memory and retrieval just because the kids are talking about the work together in the verbiage that they need to use. It enhances learner motivation and morale. A lot of kids feel successful because they've helped their group work to complete the missions. And that's basically all we really want for them, that moment of success. So the next couple of slides are talking about some of the different activities and the resources used to help your kids create products and artifacts that demonstrate the concepts that they've learned in class, and that a lot of times that they can be really proud of. So some of these are linked, and again, at the end of the presentation, I think there's a link, the bit.ly link again. But you can find this presentation on missbisonline.com. So this is a video I did in Animoto, okay, of the kids creating a video. All right. So this is a video of a paper slide video where the kids stand there. They have a piece of paper with a message on it. They read it. They go to the next slide. So it's like they're making a video of a PowerPoint presentation. Photo stories. Here are two examples of photo stories that my kids have done. One has to do with competitive gaming, and I think this one has to do with helping out your community and being a volunteer. Resources for videos, Screencast-O-Matic or Screencastify. If you want your kids to do screencast, here are two examples of that. Animoto, if you want your kids to do photo story videos, that's what the last two videos. Paper slides, confessionals. So those are some things about videos. Flipgrid is a site that I'll be using more. Here are some example of the Flipgrids I have. How do we take care of ourselves? Here are some different tools that can be used in a classroom. Let me know 3 things that you enjoyed about our class. Quote of the day. Quote of the day is basically you're sharing a quote of the day. Introduce yourself to the class. This one, they were going to talk about what they would do if they had money. Flipgrids like I said, I'm going to utilize them more as a method of collecting videos. The kids can create their videos directly on the Flipgrid site using the Flipgrid ad, or they can upload them to the Flipgrid site. Other students can comment on them. So again, you can give them the create a video about blah, 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 and they can create the video, upload it to Flipgrid, and then other students can comment on the videos. So here are some other sites that can be used for screencasting or videos. Comic strips, they can create comic strips about resources or topics. I use make-believes. All right, and again, characters are right here. There's a setting. They can position their characters to the front or to the back, scale it. They can flip it. Infographics, they can use Canva or Google Draw. Both of these were done using Canva, but they could have been done using Google Draw. They come up with some icons. They have main topics, subtopics, text. All right. These are both done from a hospitality class. And I told them I wanted them to give me these facts from the chapter, and they did. You can have them where this is an exam. They had to label the interface, so I gave them the different terms at the bottom. At the bottom, they had to label it. All right, and they can upload their finished slide to their Google Slides to show me that they were able to do this. Also share this. I can also share this as a doc or Google Slides. All right, and I give them filter, blank, blur, and they have to, tell me which menu tab do I find this in, and then submit it. I'll have the finished Google Doc or slide as their submission. Matching terms. They can create memes. All right. I generally use image flip, and I show them, this is what it looks like when you create your meme. You put this in up here, you put this in, you can change the size of the fonts. I try not to use all caps. Here's some student examples. This is taken from the assignment, the 2081 assignment. They can create GIFs. This one demonstrates different responses that a boss, different facial responses a boss can give you during a review. This is an example of a Padlet. I used this particular Padlet to have the kids research a topic before we did it. And on a Padlet, you can upload links to websites, images. You can use a Padlet to organize links. So you can tell them to, create a Padlet for the most important 10 concepts of a chapter. And you can have them to submit links to podcasts or videos, or they can have text boxes or upload documents as a way of demonstrating that they understand the concepts, the basic concepts of whatever unit it is you're testing them on. So here are tons of examples of possible student products: screencasts, photo stories, websites, research reports, speeches, social media, editorials, journalistic products, blog posts, memos, proposals, lab reports, reviews, interviews, narratives, manuals. And here's some more examples of other assignments. This is when a 4x4, you take a text and you create 4 lines of text that contain 4 words. And this just happens to be an example of 4 4x4s. Okay, to summarize the story, Lesson Before Dying. So, a lesson before dying: white over black rules, black is not honored, power is very important. Justice is not justice, life is not perfect, wishes don't come true, live well, die hard. So, this student chose these 4 words, okay, and these 4 sentences to summarize some of the issues within A Lesson Before Dying. I love using 4x4s to have them summarize text, because there's nothing that's more telling than to get them to tell a story or to summarize, whether it's not fiction or nonfiction, but for them to summarize text in 16 words. So 4 4-word sentences. That takes a lot of, higher level thought. This is paper posters. If your kids like to draw or doodle, they have the opportunity to create dialogue boxes, okay, that tell the meaning of a text. So they annotated to pull out important information first, and then they took that to create these different dialogue scenes. You can give them pages of text. So you can give them a copy of text from a textbook. Tell them to pull out 20 units of text. And those 20 units of text can be a single word, or it can be 3 or 4 words together. All right. Tell them to underline or highlight the important units of text and then black out the rest. All right. And what winds up happening is a blackout poem or story or blackout text. This is a thing link. So it's an interactive image. So this is just a copy of the thing link. If I was actually on the website, I would hover, all right, and either a link or a text box would pop up. Okay, so all of these different icons are linked to either text boxes or websites. So they can take an image and make it interactive. You can tell me about the different characters. You can tell me about the plot of The Great Gatsby. So that's ThingLink. I always like to have them summarize in a certain number of words. Again, using those critical thinking skills. So this is a template for summarizing something in 25 words. All right. And I think it's important. The first time I ask them to do that, I give them a template. Okay. So they can use templates like this one to help them to visualize what it looks like to create a 25-word summary sentence regarding text. All right. Which is kind of hard to do. If they're doodlers or drawers, you can have them do word art where they take a word that or a series of words that talk about the focus of a story, and then they draw images around it. So this student drew this in response to Beowulf, good versus evil. So we have the sword and shield, and we have the legs and claw of the evil beast. Um, Freedom. I don't know why I choose this one all the time. Um, it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's done well. Okay. These drawings are average. All right. But I get the point that this story is about a mother who's got a lot of kids and a pet. And she was able to have freedom one day, and she snuck away and went shopping and went skating and had a good time away from her kids. Now, I know the story, so I can kind of piece this together from the story. All right, they can create podcasts, whether they are simply creating a podcast that summarizes a piece of text. My kids had the privilege of doing podcasts for some of the pieces in the New Orleans Museum of Art several years ago. You can have them create a dictionary. They can do it individually, or they can do this. I had a class period. Okay, so basically each kid was assigned a series of terms to define. This is a s'more. Okay, so this is the same thing as an infographic, but you have the opportunity to embed videos. I think this link is live. So this is a s'more about lesson before dying. All right, so here's some images and some concepts. It talks about how the two main characters met. Here's information about sharecropping. Here are couple of relative images. Here's a 4x4 explanation of a quote and where the quote came from. Here's an example, a visual example of 4x4 using Animoto. No, this is using Photo Peach. They can do either play tweets or real-time tweets. So here's an example of real-time tweets. And basically, we're reading the material, and I gave the kids my phone, and they tweeted out. So Sunisa was tweeting out this time. And party at the mead hall, turn up. Rothgar, Rothgar, long live the king. Who is that? What is that noise? Bang, bang. Who is that? Party's over. Currently, Grendel just bit off 5 heads. The Geats arrived with the one and only Beowulf. Excited. So she came up with a tweet and hashtags. And this is actually on a Twitter account. I have Burton Scholars for the class. So, but you can also do fake tweeting. They have a couple of sites where you can go to and create fake tweets as though you were in the character of This is Romeo and Juliet. All right. The real Cap. All right. That's Lord Capulet, Tybalt. And you just kind of, tell them, create however many updates. And if we were together, I would say that you're it. It's your turn. The next screen is a Padlet. And on that Padlet, I'd ask you to put some of the activities or some of the ways that you could see yourself using challenges and boards and menus in your class. But we're not together. But you can still post to the Padlet. So again, I am Miss Burton. Um, Miss B is online is my name on my social media outlets. I have a webpage, missbisonline.com, and the slides for this presentation can be found on Miss B is Online, or you can go to this bit.ly address. And if you hadn't noticed, y'all, I am absolutely in love with these virtual classrooms and Bitmojis. So of course I have to have a lot of Bitmoji classrooms. And I'm probably gonna no, not I'm probably. I'm gonna use this a lot in my class. Um, just as a novel way of presenting the basic information that I'd normally be presenting to them. So here I am. Holler at me if I can help you with anything. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for tuning in and have a great day.